I have not seen Nature's Prophet mid lane in quite a while. Throws me back to like Matama Man, Liquid mid lane, Nature's Prophet. Probably has been some mid lane Nature's Prophet since then, but it's just it's gonna be interesting to see one that gets such a higher farm priority to work with.
The big question mark for me is how this Ember versus Naga Siren matchup will go. If it goes well for Na'Vi, I really like their chances here. But if I see like a level 6 Naga and level 4.5 or 5 Ember, then my opinion will sway the other way. As I say that,
I was gonna say Naga seems to be going mid lane there.
Yeah,
BSJ.
they are fully aware of the players playing their respective heroes. Meaning
so the
that
swippity swaps happening.
they got the exact matchup they want. Already makes me lean more towards chicken fight moving forward in this game. Naga Siren should absolutely free farm. The only issue here is the potential of Nature's Prophet really bleeding his level advantage into other lanes by roaming and utilizing that ult to turn the tide there. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't always just be as simple as, oh, as long as you get the matchup you want in a different lane, it's going to be the same. The lane itself, I'm sure, plays a role in that with how the creep equilibrium could be, with camps nearby, or maybe just the heroes having easier access to maybe rotate over. That's got to be interesting in its own right.
I do agree, but in this specific matchup, I think Naga is favored against Prophet for all the same reasons, mid as she is in the side lane.
Yeah,
so it doesn't change this specific one. Sometimes, like, the matchup advantage is based on your chase distance, the fact that you're not near towers.
For sure.
The pull camps, those kind of things can really influence that, but in this particular case, I don't think it matters. It's just the fact that Naga should be able to push in the lane freely, as you see here, and then rotate between mid and jungle with absolutely no pressure on him, so
more to see if maybe the Nature's Prophet decides to take his early burst of XP and farm elsewhere, or decides to jungle himself, I guess.
Crystallize getting off to a good start top. I think the PL versus Legion Commander lane matchup isn't really that bad as it used to be. PL should get the farm that he wants out of lane, get level 6, and just head out of here. While Ilias being a Undying, the reason for this Dazzle pick, it's one of the few supports that can actually deter Undying when he is running at Saberlight. Notice how the minute he gets his Poison Touch on him, Ilias does not feel confident to run and hit this strength offlaner that they picked it against. So I really do like the conceptual counter of the Dazzle here, because it is going to enable Saberlight to have a much better laning stage. That if they had picked any bullyable forward position, especially a strength one, this lane would have been a real nightmare.
Yeah, so Nico is going to be playing a much more selfless Nyx Assassin here to the bottom lane. As you talk about the counterpart Dazzle, he is babysitting Supreme on the bottom lane Death Prophet. Does this have any sort of a different factor for Death Prophet? I know you said for Naga mid lane all as well. Death Prophet now has a bit of a longer lane to chase forward like this. Could suck down someone like Slayer, forces Pasha to intercept, and just could work out to be a really interesting dynamic here for the side of Chicken Fighters.
The only issue with Death Prophet in the side lane is before she has points in her nuke up, she is at threat of the lane just doubling up on her, like you're seeing here. She is going to get gone in the bottom lane, as we saw Undying die in the top lane. Pasha chasing her down. No points in there, no charges of the Spirit Siphon. Slayer does have Inkswell, going to use it on himself. No stun from Seneko due to mana. He's too short.
He's almost blocking a bit there, unfortunately. And now Seneko has to head out the other direction. Chicken Fighters will take a hard shot on that one, but they even it up for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think the fact that you can just double up the wave when you have a hero like Grimstroke and you just use that Stroke of Fate to push out the wave puts ranged heroes that normally bully, like Death Prophet, they just can't tank creeps, right? Your 4 armor, you can't really afford because of no Stout Shield innate.
That's a fantastic tip, and I feel like something that I need to be able to apply to my own game as a support, recognizing the type of core you're going against, and if they can't handle that type of pressure, maybe you manipulate the wave to push forward harder than trying to pull it back more.
Oh, absolutely. There's certain matchups where...
That's never talked about, I feel like.
It is a big deal. It certainly adjusts the way you're supposed to play the lane. It makes the pull camp power more potent, because if you push the lane and then pull the camp, if they're a ranged hero, they can't really contest you very well because they can't walk through the creeps. So it does alter a lot of the side lane matchups, and I'm glad to know that
Definitely learned something new with that. It's just a matter of the core needs to trust you as well.
Exactly.
That you're pushing forward. Let's dive them. I feel like in my level, the cores be like, what the hell are you doing? As we see bottom lane, a snipe takedown onto Pasha. Nicely set up right there. So Nico,
crazy.
These teams are getting a little more feisty with each other with these tips I see
Who's
too.
going on who here? Slayer. He swells himself up, but Spirit Siphon level 2. Way better than level 1. Max HP as damage goes from 1 to 2.5%. So now that he's got those levels up on DP, that problem's not really the case anymore because you're going to tank that much more effective health with that regen you're stealing with the Spirit Siphon, but also you have 2 points in your Crypt Swarm, which allows you to decently push out the wave. Can I talk? Okay, he's just feeding.
That's
Never mind.
that's just a
Yeah, he's just a suicide. I was like, how did that? I'm like, look, I'm like keeping my peripherals on the mini map, and I don't see anything going on. And then suddenly a guy dies, and I'm like, come on. Charlie is level 6 in the mid lane. This is the highlight of the Chicken Fighters lineup. Already out to a 1K net worth lead total, but Naga complete free farm in the mid lane. Even though Magical has decent CS, this is only going to ramp up for Charlie. Triple Wraithband, Glove of Haste, and a Courier does go down, but he's just going to keep pressuring with these illusions. During the catapult wave, doesn't have fort, so he's gonna lose his catapult here.
But Naga continues to get as she wants, as she pulls ahead in the CS game. Nature's probably holding his own in the deny part of things, but has not really looked elsewhere yet to intervene. Maybe top lane could be something they consider going for. He dished out the ult, and that could be it. Yep, right on cue. Not even necessary to be there as a witness. They just blast down Saberlight. The follow-up sprout's there, but Era is quick to react.
Charlie, Haste Rune, he's coming. Ganking Naga Siren mid lane.
Look out, everybody. Era's trying to bait them in to stay longer.
Courier.
Oh,
nice
Era.
Value.
No grave, so he goes down with the right clicks.
That's just a Naga Siren, though. He has no net. No ability to contribute other than just simple right clicks. So
it felt like Era was baiting him in for something for the Naga, and Naga's just like, I'll settle for the Courier. And
it's interesting that he came here, and it's like, you should probably just stay mid and pressure because your hero just doesn't counter gang. That's just not what Naga Siren does. So at least not until points in net as well as the ultimate. He is level 7, and that is the kind of engagement that Navi needs to look for. The fact that Magical, that ultimate, just crushed the Legion Commander. Basically went from 3/4 health to almost 0.
Yeah, when that Wrath of Nature went off, that should have been a huge red flag.
Yeah.
He's coming. Trouble's coming, but it didn't even matter. Went down before the opportunity. Bottom lane, so Nico setting up the stun, Soul Siphon, but look at the Slayer's reaction.
The Soul Siphon is
goes in right away with the Inkswell, but he's just shucking up all that life.
Oh.
And just right clicks down for the finish. Here's Magical again. Looking to go for Sonico, but he's got the quick hasty
It's so
TP.
deceiving. You think he's going to kill him, then he siphons the second hero, and you're like, oh, this guy's regenerating way more than we could ever kill, and he just lives. Seems like a decent counter to the Grimstroke. I actually had that. I had a Grimstroke support against a Death Prophet core in the lane the other day, and you try to go on him with Inkswell, and then he just Spirit siphons you up. And top lane, Saberlight does get level
bottom
6.
though.
And bottom lane,
They're
everything.
going again. It's a little bit of the same. This time Slayer hoping to go
Only
for the
one
finish.
charge on the Spirit Siphon, though, so big difference this time around.
Yep, and with Magical there.
Oh, the Dazzle TP.
The Dazzle's here. He's got the grave now. He wants to be sure.
Duel, let him have it. Okay. They almost killed him in time, or too fast.
Era's chained down now, though, and without a grave, he will fall. So Na'Vi at least recoup a little bit of something.
I'd say that's a bigger reaction force from Chicken Fighters, so Na'Vi could maybe be okay with it. But at the same time, Charlie's just free farming mid and pressuring the tower. So overall, seems like a win for Chicken Fighters entirely, despite having to bring so many heroes to their own safe lane. Sunoiko's already level 5 as a 5-position Nyx. 8.5 minutes into the game. Does have a Quelling Blade over the boots this stage in the game against the Prophet. I don't mind that. Got to itemize according to the game.
For sure. Especially if it keeps him alive. Haven't seen too much of the Undying yet either. He had a little bit of solo opportunity to get some XP in that mid lane. Is now level 5, but
Dazzle does really remove you from the picture in terms of your laning stage. You're kind of a soul rip. You're no longer a decay bully type hero.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that in his skill build, the 1-3-1. And
so where's the bounce back then for Undying? Because he feels like one of those heroes that like Underlord before, like needs a good laning phase to get that momentum built up. If you don't have the momentum, like you're reaching.
That's why you're willing to pick Dazzle as a support when we've only really seen it work as a core, because the point of Undying is to be a lane dominator. And if you can pick a 1-to-1 support that actually just shuts down that entire part of his game, it may be worth picking something that's not so meta in the support role. So we do see Nature's Prophet actually farming up some Ancients, gets a tree, seems on theme there. And Supreme has rotated to the mid lane.
How funny would it be if they chop the one tree and just plants a new one right there? Like, you stay in that sprout. You stay in that. That would be the next level. But pressure's coming from Chicken Fighters to the mid lane. Everybody's starting to congregate this way, even from the Na'Vi side now.
Messes up the carapace.
I was going to say, yeah, fortunately.
Crystallize is here. Got to be careful. They don't have silence on DP, though, so he's pretty reliably able to get that doppelganger off.
Yep.
Bring it to Rask. He's quite tanky. But I have to imagine, I was talking about this the other day outside with Blitz. I'm not sure how this Naga Siren PL matchup goes. A hero matchup you don't see too often because neither one really counters the other.
Yeah.
So you don't see a Naga and then purposely pick PL and vice versa.
Yeah. So rushing for Battle Fury or really Maelstrom or really any of those awkward items.
Nyx does go down in the bottom lane. Looks like they had a ward sentry, but he didn't quite have his ult yet, so making use of that. Dazzle does have his ult. Will they get him a shovel? That's the real question. Also has a Quelling Blade of his own with that lower cooldown. Super value tree cutting there. GG from Magical.
Like GG block her back in the Sprout. Utilize the full cooldown of the Quelling Blade. I think this tower is fall. Can he get the deny, though? No, he can't. But no last hits there for Chicken Fighters, so they'll have to split up the gold, and now they begin to migrate up north as an outpost is taken back by Na'Vi.
Pasha's pressuring the bottom lane with this 2-4-0 build on Ember. I understand that this is the better fighting build, but I have to believe maybe 1 point in Flame Guard could be nice value for just shoving the wave a bit.
For sure, and he hasn't really needed to participate in any fights at this point.
I saw Limp for Alliance doing the same thing, or no, Quakefa, excuse me, doing the same thing where you are taking the tower as DP and you want to tank for your catapult, so you activate your ult and then Spirit Siphon a creep. It's a really cool way to put that extra bit of pressure on as DP in the early game, because most heroes like her as an int ranged hero cannot tank the tower. So I saw that multiple times, and if you're trying to learn Death Prophet, really cool thing you can do there. Do take that tower. And another little tidbit for Death Prophet is whatever you're attacking will get hit by your ultimate. So if you're tanking the tower and creeps, as we see bottom.
Yeah, Saberlight denied that tower. They're looking for vengeance here. So Nico steps in now, gets his own stun, poison. Grave comes out with the bailout. Dual set up. Saberlight successful in getting the finish of Magical on that one.
But 3.
Big damage with the Inkswell, with the zombie, with the Pasha. They wipe out 2. They're looking to go for more. Soul Siphon, not going to be enough.
That Inkswell is a 3.7 second stun for 400 damage. And it hit 3 heroes. That's going to win you a fight, no matter what.
Swole, am I right?
Yeah, you're all right. That is very swole.
Charlie, not participating in any of that. He is the dark horse for the team, hoping to be that, X factor to pull out. Continues to grind away at the top, but that has got to be a big momentum boost for Na'Vi.
Yeah, you do want Naga Siren to be atop the network charts like he is, but you have to be careful of him being the only one with net worth. Legion and offlaner that's absolutely vulnerable to becoming a W, as Cap said during the panel, and that's something you do not wish for moving forward, as you're going to see this Inkswell again.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice Grave coming out from Dazzle, and then the Inkswell. Oh my God.
Oh, just wonderfully done right there.
Yeah. That's the Grimstroke plus Ember combo that we saw in the first round of the draft.
And Pasha, with that momentum,
powerful.
he can build up towards a Maelstrom. So if PL's not going to be the answer for Naga, let Pasha do it.
Yeah, Ember is very annoying for Naga. That is the negative for Chicken Fighters scaling into the late game. I personally wouldn't mind if he goes like Maelstrom, Radiance, Shiva, something like that. Radiance isn't ideal against the Nyx, so he might skip out on that, but he could really just put his entire itemization towards countering the Naga Sirens late game.
Whereas what can the Legion Commander do to assist with the PL, aside from just normal setup?
Really nothing, to be honest with you. You're just going to be a Blink Dagger initiation for your team. That's the one issue I guess I have moving forward. Nyx and Dazzle don't really do anything to PL all that great. Death Prophet's only a silence once he gets the mantle. They do have a sentry.
Inkswell Remnants in.
Oh, only stuns up the
Grave
in the
is
back.
there. Oh, he put the Grave onto the Nyx.
Yikes.
Oh, no.
Tip Era, do it.
Jump forward. They're going to make Era pay for it as well.
God, so much damage from that max slice.
They were really close together, so I can see why there could be a bit of a misclick, but that is so unfortunate. And now Na'Vi are going to move forward and get the tier 1.
Really nice movements from 9 Pasha on the offlane Ember. Something we don't see very often. I've never seen him play it, but it looks good. The silence plus the chains.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is looking real
at this
ugly
point.
real quick. And they have the defusal on PL. He's ready to fight. This is one thing that leans in the favor of PL in this matchup between him and Naga Siren. Naga really capitalized on the ability of the enemy team to not force fights this early, and that is not the case when you have these mid-game heavy cores with the defusal PL, as he does catch Slayer, but that Inkswell
so dang long.
forced a song, actually, and TP away. I guess that worst, all things considered, that could have been worse, but really unfortunate. Imclaw for PL. Dude, you gotta go pick that up, dude. Oh, no, never mind. It's Death Prophet that found that at the same time. You do want that Imclaw for PL. All illusions critting is a super value item for him.
Oh, I bet. So really, is there any reason Na'Vi should take this slow? I mean, this feels like such a huge power peak now.
You just keep going.
Defusal, Ember's got Maelstrom. Like,
you're farming.
Let's just go.
You're farming, right?
Oh
but
my
you
gosh,
want to make
Nature's
sure
Prophet
you push
has a
them
Maelstrom
in.
too.
They're the only issue I see with their lineup right now is the lack of team items. They don't have any auras, any sustain. So that could pose as a problem, but at the same time, I guess they don't really need it against the heroes of Chicken Fighters, to be honest with you. They don't have any like AoE nukes to poke down the PL. They do find Supreme again with this smoke. Inkswell, run it back.
So
and Seneko, he's just going to die, man. There's no way that works.
He witnessed the whole thing. He's got to go.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Na'Vi just run and train now. Feels like they're like on some sort of 8-0 kill streak at the moment.
Grimstroke is so good, man. That hero, I'm surprised he did not get touched in 7.25C. We have been seeing him nonstop, but that Inkswell is the hero. For
I was going to say,
wondering what's going on.
You've been talking about Inkswell nonstop. A lot of people like to
think of his ult.
Think of his ult and all the synergy there. That feels like just the frosting on the cake of Grimstroke.
It's okay, but in the past when Grimstroke was broken originally, his ult used to be a slow, it used to be longer, and now it's none of those things, and the buffs that they've made up for have really come in the form of the Inkswell.
Na'Vi has a lot of money when you see the couriers on the top lane take flight like this.
My
Look at them. Come with the money. Come with the items.
The brigade of couriers. Holy moly, couldn't speak there. That's pretty funny. Items galore. Ether Lens for Slayer, Maelstrom, plus the Mithril Hammer for Nature's Prophet. Pasha working on a Vlad's. I actually like that double back because I mentioned the lack of aura items, and it really is his job, I guess, because you have a mid-Nature's Prophet. Your supports like Grimstroke are going to buy these utility items like the Ether and like Glimmer Capes and Ghost Scepters as he has queued up. And Undying, let's be honest, that hero's not getting any farm, so he's not going to buy any.
He's unfortunately, the one sore spot for Na'Vi right now, but he had simply been just kind of outmatched and trying to recuperate from that, but you know, so someone's got to play like the more 5 role in this one.
Yeah, and he's been pretty surprisingly impactful, just soul ripping enemies for the burst, soul ripping allies for the burst heal, and utilizing the tomb.
Very useful.
So even though it doesn't seem good on paper against these heroes from the Radiant side, once that tombstone's deployed, they don't really have a way to retake that area. So they're kind of forced to run away. I don't think they can afford to focus the tombstone because of the Inkswell, honestly. Only that. Is the DP working on a Yules? Yes. Once he gets the Yules, it'll be really important that he Yules is the Inkswell target because you can purge the Inkswell buff. As of now, it's the only really way for them to deal with it. They do have the Nether Shawl on Naga. Will he put that as his main item? It's pretty value. Yes, he does. On high armor illusion heroes, as it gives all of your illusions the magic resistance, and it does also only clip into that armor by a small number when you have 23 armor to 18 minutes into the game. He's pretty damn farmed. Almost has a defusal. #1 net worth, but following the next 3 are Na'Vi, and they have a 5k net worth advantage. And as long as they look to itemize against the Naga as the game goes on, I am not a believer in Naga solo carrying the game past like 40 minutes. That is not what I believe is the recipe for success, but I am welcome to be proven wrong here.
Absolutely. We're getting close to the 20-minute mark, outpost time, as Chicken Fighters will take the northern outposts at this moment and really try to take over the Na'Vi front and move forward with the tier 2. Na'Vi have decided to kind of get back into the farming pattern a bit while...
Only level 1 DP ult.
Yeah, this is a cute little exorcism that's going to be scratching away at a tier 2. We'll see if Na'Vi want to try to defend it.
You and I have a weird, different definition of cute, Dakota. As they find Magical. Nice blink duel. Is that going to lead to anything, though?
Magical's pretty farm. This ain't no scrubby support Nature's Prophet, but with the assistance coming in from the
They're
Death
out of
Prophet,
position
that
now,
will be
though.
good. Pasha jumps in now, looking to try to finish the plate of
song,
Saberlight, and is
but the
successful, but the
flame
song is too late, and Charlie will bounce.
The benefit, I guess, of Song is that you can focus the Tombstone during it, but there, I said it was a nice blink duel, but man, is that deep to be going to dive after that Nature's Prophet. He seemed pretty content to just man the F up and take him down with him as he dies, but dishes out as much damage as possible. And they have a lot of mobility with the Inkswell, the Ember Spirit, as well as the PL. They will have no problem getting there ASAP. And the odds seem to be going no better for Chicken Fighters than they were at the start. Actually, 2 times worse, approximately. I agree with that. I'd say that's pretty accurate in terms of the chances for both teams to win this game. Looks like a free Roshan most likely, since the Naga Siren sleep is down. Blink Blade Mail on Legion just sounds super underwhelming this game against heroes like Ember, against heroes like Nature's Prophet going for the BKB.
Oh, so Nico shows himself doing the cute little mana leak onto the Undying. Will he pay the price for it? They got the Dust.
And here's the 4-second stun. Oh, there it is.
Dust was like the one item that got buffed this last
Yes,
patch,
it did.
being 10 gold cheaper.
Hype.
Era graved up, but now reciting his final
Delaying
prayers.
the inevitable, yes.
Yep. And Chicken Fighter still just handing over kills. Charlie's here now.
The Grimstroke ult.
Yeah. Can they do anything? Okay.
I think they're both
Some
just going to die
ghosts.
here. Actually, I don't know who's dying.
Oh, Ember is getting siphoned up from the front. Nice step in from Supreme. They get the finish there, but Magical
PL's
from
not
behind.
here. PL's actually not
He is
here.
dishing out the right click, and as you mentioned, without the assistance of PL, it is a bit awkward for Navi. They're still holding it.
His Manta's in his backpack. PL, put the Manta in your...
It could have been so much better, though, if PL was here right out of
Put
the
the
gate.
Manta in your inventory, PL.
Man, you got the Manta in your backpack, brother. He's still got it in his backpack. He's running in without it. It doesn't care.
He's like, he tried to Manta to do damage there, and he's like, wait a minute, I don't have my freaking Manta. That's like 30 movement speed that he lost running across the map.
That could have been the difference maker for the whole thing. Navi could have won by now if he was there just that little bit earlier.
Passive Manta. It's pretty funny. I've never. It's been a long time since you see that kind of thing. But queuing up the Abyssal on the PL has the Ring of Tarrasque for the extra bit of tankiness in the mid game, and despite what went wrong there, I think that was just a nice move by Chicken Fighters. I didn't realize myself that PL wasn't there, so I was like, I think they're just gonna die making this move. But they clearly made that move because they saw the PL bottom, and
that did not go nearly as well when you consider the PL not being there.
That is true.
It
He
helps.
actually TP's in front of Vision. I didn't even notice that. He's just, they see that. That's very obvious punishment for Chicken Fighters to try to capitalize on with no PL there. They do get the net onto the Ember right after the silence. He was probably going to plan to dodge that net, but he couldn't with the DP silence coming from the other side. But those Tombstone zombies were racking up pretty fast, so forced to retreat regardless. And the Inkswell actually getting blocked by his own zombies. So it might have been a kill on Naga if he was able to get on top of him there. We do have the pause still going, guys, so don't worry. You're not missing anything. You just get to watch him have a backpacked Manta again.
Yeah, lots of ifs, unfortunately, for this fight. If the PL was there a bit sooner, had Navi been able to take over, but also Chicken Fighters didn't have Era since he was sniped down at the beginning of that fight, so they didn't have the extra bit of sustain and the potential grave save. And we're going to get right back into the game.
Weird choice by Crystallize to TP away and Vision like that. You have a hero like Prophet, Nature's Prophet, that can reliably clear waves by TPing and coming back to the fight. You also have an Ember Spirit who can Remnant and come back. I think PL has to be very careful of TPing away from his team in front of the opponent, because I just don't think that's his job in the game, and that is honestly, in my opinion, a big slip-up, and he should be careful to do it again.
I didn't notice that Magical was also the Aegis holder. That might have been just me missing that. But
it's nice.
he's the extra
He's like their only Blink dual target, to be honest, of value. Maybe Grimstroke, but I don't think he's going to be in position with that Ether Lens where they can get the jump on him. So now it allows Prophet to play way differently in this game. If he has that Aegis, he can get dueled. He can come back to life with a BKB, stand his ground there.
Okay.
Now, Pasha might get caught by this. They have Blink duel with a Blade Mail.
They had
But they're
a
all here.
safe smoke under their own vision. Can they find someone to jump? There it is. A nice catch, a
Solar
potential
appeal.
setup, but they're going to need more to burst him down. Is the finish there? No.
Yeah,
He's able to
that's the
slide out
problem.
and make it away. They go for the grave save on the Saberlight. Can't do the same for Sunico, though. Supreme looking to fight in with Charlie. They dish out the song. Are they going to evacuate? Magical's there with the BKB, but it's just a hasty retreat from Chicken Fighters. And remember, they're the ones to lead this fight off, so that is a big win for Na'Vi.
Yeah, instant TP from Magical to push the bottom tier 2. Going to force reactions in multiple lanes as the rest of his team is pushing mid and coming. So I don't think they can fight. No Naga sleep, no Death Prophet
exorcism.
ult.
Yeah.
Oof. 60 damage for free is pretty nice on Prophet. That buff was, or I guess reworked technically, because they did increase the cooldown of his ult. I think everyone would prefer the increased cooldown with the increased damage.
Yeah, certainly. Na'Vi not too hasty yet as they wait for Pasha to come back up, but they do make the call to go to bottom. So Nico's here, going to quickly go for a D-ward, but has to be careful that it doesn't cost his own life. Gets hit with the defusal, but is able to separate himself.
Basher is done for PL. That's really scary for the DP who's buying a BKB, but that's not going to do all that much if PL gets on top of you. As I said, until the silence of DP is the only good part about DP versus PL. So I've noticed in my games that you have this like mid-game timing where PL's a bit rough, but once you get this Manta, oh, it feels so free against Death Prophet in terms of the game going on, because those ghosts, they only have one target that they hit, and the best way to soak up the damage is to have a bajillion targets, and that's what PL does best.
They're on the high ground to pop the smoke.
No running away from this.
They try to jump and make
nice
it away.
Yules, nice Yules. That purges it, like we said.
Yeah, and
good disengage.
Purge out. Oh, they're trying to get Era. He's forced to grave himself.
Oh, the double lance value.
Oh my God, they're not going to be able to make it away. Era is going to fall. Oh, so Nico could be next. How bloodthirsty is Na'Vi here? They're going to dive to take down the two supports, and with them both out for 30 seconds. What are Na'Vi going to be able to do with this window?
I really like the 9 Pasha build. I talked about him itemizing against the Naga in a way of like minimizing her damage. I thought the Radiant Shiva stood out to me, but this is another way to do it. More team-focused items that also do focus on mitigating that physical damage with the Vlads and the Medallion. And really no one else to build it. The 4-staff from the Grim, he's super farmed for a support. Look at that. It's a problem with Naga when you're behind, right? You're just seeing the net worth on PL and Naga. It's the same, right? Carries.
Yep.
That means the game's even, right? No. You see all the other heroes.
Yeah.
It's 3,000 for the off-laner mid laner discrepancy. It's 3,000 or 1,000 for the off-laners. 4,000 for one support and 3,000 for the other. Somehow
Naga just
dying.
takes so much and everything that's out there, and then their real estate that's available to him is now so much more limited because obviously Navi's power at this point. So
Absolutely.
what's available belongs to Naga Mama. Everyone else, you get scraps. And yeah, as you can see,
I've never heard her called Naga Mama.
and the rest of her family is just a bit too skinny and not ready, or famished, if you will.
Famished.
They're not battle ready. They're hungry.
Ooh, Titan Sliver found. That's a very good item from Peel. He's going to take it. Now has the Titan Sliver plus almost a full Abyssal Blade. And we have the Enchanted Quiver on Magical. That is going to do 400 bonus range and 300 bonus magical damage for Magical.
I like it. And they just keep the pressure on all fronts meanwhile.
They don't realize that's real, but they might have pursued if they did realize that.
Charlie with an arcane.
Choosing the Ring of Tarask over the Vanguard. That seems like a strictly wrong decision in his inventory there. He's really enjoying value backpack, letting him marinate for later. Charlie does have the arcane runes. They know this is real. Got to be careful.
Yeah, he's got to retreat back.
Ink Swell again. Oh, just nets. That was pretty ballsy from Charlie not to be
He's
scared
still
here.
dancing with them a bit. While most of Chicken Fighters are in their jungle side still, Na'Vi are making the approach to move in for the
Double
Naga.
lance.
Supreme gets the finish on the Magical.
They're going to focus the tomb, maybe? Okay. Not bad. Is this good for them?
Here's Supreme from the backside. Duel goes out. They're looking to isolate Grim. They take him out first. Supreme
DP's really low, but he uses
low, but living.
the grave.
And she's living. She makes it out from the back inside, and she's all good. This
But she's
could
out of the
be
fight.
Chicken Fighters' time. As they
Grimshark
fight
bought
forward.
back.
Yes, he is. He's here now. They have that outpost, so he's able to get here super fast. Now Charlie on the run. Era's forced to grave and TP out hastily, but that leaves poor little Charlie behind, and Nagamama is dead. Supreme back in action, but at this point, Na'Vi have won them over.
Is this like Wagamama, but like Fisher version? Is that what you're going for here?
It does, you know, feel nice to say. I guess it's from saying Wagamama so much in the past.
We do see Magical body blocking Seneko with the trees. Dude, that's so annoying, man. That's so well played by Magical there. Good microing. Has the Mjolnir done, so very good damage output coming from him. And
this is actually trouble. Naga's out for 30 seconds. No
they have
buyback.
Abyssal Blade PL.
And this mid lane looks to
Coming
be theirs. No exorcism, obviously. No real answer at this point from Chicken Fighters. They're going to watch their racks fall.
Are they going to go for the deny?
Supreme tries to slow them down.
They could have had that deny with the Dazzle.
And they'll just take the 1 racks.
This is not the Dazzle you want in Dota right now. Dazzle has such good farm potential, such high impact with every item that has a cooldown just because of the nature of his ult. And this 4-position Dazzle is pretty much chopping up to be what we have all thought about support Dazzles thus far. Seemed really nice in the laning stage versus Undying. I saw what they were going for. It seemed pretty good, but it has not played out according to plan. And Ember Spirit's going to finish up that Solar Crest. They're going to be looking to take Roche. Even this Undying is hard to kill. Ghost Scepter, 4-staff Spider Legs. He is incredibly mobile for such a seemingly not mobile hero. I don't really have a better way to talk about that one.
Oh, hold on.
Hold
We
the
got a
bash.
fight to possibly talk about here. As
The Tombstone
Charlie's
well
looking to roam
placed.
in. Saberlight to the high ground. The song comes out, and they will quickly deal with that Tombstone.
Is that
Who are they looking to isolate? It's
trade for
Ember.
them?
He gets a chainsaw. Pasha. Remnant's out. They can't get the focus onto him. Now they
Kills
look to
the
set up
Dazzle
for
immediately.
Crystallize. Crystallize moves in, gets the finish on the Era. Era forced to buy back now. Magical looking to shift in, and they're fighting right at Roche's front door. And it's a bloodbath on the welcome mat here as they quickly wipe out 2 and 3. Hey, Roche, did you see that? Now we're going to beat your ass. As they walk in and go for the Aegis.
He's a witness. Finish him.
Get the hell out of here. You saw nothing. Now, give me that Aegis.
I see why they're doing what they're doing with the Naga Sleep. You can't win the fight if the Tombstone's there, but it's just showing how dire their situation is for the Radiant, and I don't know. It just seems relatively hopeless with a 21,000 net worth lead for Na'Vi. The problem with the Naga Siren, I think I've seen this game, as opposed to like the Alchemist that the panel is suggesting for their 10th pick, is it just hasn't matched the pace of this PL. And both heroes doing the same thing for the first 15 minutes, but PL goes first item Diffusal, and the game is seemingly out of their hands by the time Naga Siren has come online. And
Plus, Navi's backstaff, they have so many more answers for the Naga, while Chicken Fighters don't nearly have as much to deal with the PL. And now PL's not even the sole damage dealer. I feel like there's a Tricore pretty much unleashed from Navi's side, and that is just already too many for Chicken Fighters to deal
Charlie
with.
getting hit up here.
He is really the final hope here.
PL has cheese.
Jump
Uses
in.
the cheese.
Jewel.
Well
Okay.
played.
Yeah, and he might get some free damage here.
That
Oh,
was
the
a sick
Grave.
cheese usage, honestly.
Grave song.
Pause, everybody. Chill the F out.
And this could be the final round. Saberlight tries to make a hasty escape,
Doppelganger dodges the silence.
but Supreme becomes the new target. And they block her up. They try to with the trees. Can they pinch her into the wall? The Grave's there, but it's not going to hold her out long enough. And she's down and out for over a minute without a buyback. Naga should be next. I think the Tau could come momentarily here. But she does manage to make it back inside the fountain. Na'Vi, have they overextended? They haven't really done any damage to the racks yet. Ooh, good stun. Here we go. Chicken Fighters.
The Abyssal onto the
Fighting
Dazzle.
him
He's
back
dead
a little.
instantly.
Pasha will be next to go down here.
He's
but
pretty tanky.
Crystallize. Crystallize is the one you want to get. And Crystallize, he's got Charlie. Sprout.
Oh, he tries to Quelling Blade, but it's the wrong tree.
Crystallize is there in front to wait.
And now what?
Does have a buyback, but okay, spends it.
They don't have any mana because of the Naga Siren Diffusal, so... And the Nyx mana burn. I don't know if they can continue this.
It's only Naga and Nyx. So by numbers, Na'Vi feel good, but you're right. By resources, they feel weak.
They cancel 9 Pasha's TP. That's a dieback,
that's
I believe.
Big. Yes, it is. Nice little snipe there from Charlie.
Okay, okay. They catch him
90
with the
seconds.
sleep as well. Gonna
Okay.
have no impale, no impale. They do
Here
have
we go, Chicken Fighters.
duel
Oh,
and
Magical's
5.
here.
None of their stuns are up.
Self-sprout my Magical. He right-clicks
No
from his
mana.
little turret. While PL goes to the high ground, gets dueled up. Soul Siphon's there. PL to the other side, but still gets dropped.
Magical.
And Magical now could be next. What is happening here?
We have a 3-2-2 situation
Navi
potentially.
just falling apart as it looked like they were going to go in for the finish.
Yeah, the mana burn's proving to accomplish everything they need. The silence cancels that TP because it is an ability rather than the actual TP scroll.
They did no real base damage there, I gotta say. Yeah, they got the mid lane already, but that was only a tier 3 at the top lane.
Yeah, the net worth lead pretty overwhelming for Navi, but clearly signs of life and the ability to take incredibly long fights on the side of Chicken Fighters. They were forced to buy back on the Naga Siren, so that is a negative for them. They are also, anybody else that was forced to buy back here? Looks like Legion was as well, and so it's 100% worth it that they did it, but it's not exactly a free win. You know, they didn't hold with no
they would
cost.
need more of that. They would need more of that. But, oh, I thought there was a buyback available on the PL, but it looks like he bought something.
Yeah, he
Doesn't
did
matter
have
at
it
this
originally.
point.
He bought the Eagle Song.
That's fine, though. It's only about 10 more seconds. How much can Chicken Fighters really get from this push? We'll see.
Legion's dead, so there's not too much threat for them, but the net is a lockdown if it catches the Ember.
All right, there's a helpful slide.
A big 4-staff there.
Okay, but, PL's back. PL gets stunned. Mantas,
They almost got him
silence,
with
song.
the silence, actually.
Go right for the tombstone. Are they bailing out? Yes, they are. Okay.
Oh, almost gets him with that Abyssal.
You know, Navi don't take any extra losses from the previous skirmish. It's not like they had to buy out for that defense or anything.
I think PL should consider holding like 6 mangoes in his backpack. I'm not really kidding here. He's only issue I've struggled the same thing in the past when you're playing PL late game versus Nyx is you just randomly get mana burned, and your abilities do cost a decent amount of mana over the course of the fight. You have Manta, you have Abyssal, your Doppelganger plus Lance. It adds up, and you get like 1 mana burn in the face, and suddenly you're sitting at virtually no mana, and PL with no mana, similar to Anti-Mage, does not have his survivability tool without it, and he is not that much harder to bring. It's not very hard to bring down when he cannot Doppelganger, reset the fight, Manta, all that kind of stuff, so may want to consider that sometime soon. Does have the Butterfly queued up and the Satanic. We have a Sheep Stick from Magical being queued up. It's pretty big for him if he can BKB during the song and, you know, Sheep Stick somebody who's trying to TP out.
And Naga's going for a Butterfly herself, and I don't see a MKB option on the side of Navi.
Rapier, for sure.
Oh, yeah, let's go. No, let's keep it going. Let's
And
keep the
Maelstroms
entertainment
do
alive.
give 25% True Strike, so it's not to the same effect as the Crystallized Butterfly, but still very good item for Naga. Not saying you shouldn't go for it. Supreme does have the Arcane Rune on Death Prophet.
Okay, smoke movement out.
Quickening
Chicken
Charm as
Fighters
well.
are just around the corner, so Nico could spot this one out. But
They're looking.
Navi decide to make the jump. Double Change is going to be there. Turnaround, silence, doesn't catch anybody. Crystallize
Abyssal,
goes down
double Abyssal.
below. And with the Abyssals, they get locked down. Full retreat for Chicken Fighters, maybe to just the high ground here. Because they got to make something work with this Exorcism. Supreme is eating a lot of damage, though.
The Tombstone, super potent here.
Yeah.
They're sending Naga Legions for it, but they can protect it, I think.
They're not going to song for this one.
Tomb is alive.
Yeah, but they'll just fight elsewhere. But that means Exorcism's going to be down.
It was 80-second cooldown, though, because he had an Arcane Rune plus Quickening Charm, so they've only got a small window to punish this, and most likely going to try, but not nearly as long as you normally have.
It's 1 more minute. Oh, it may respawn in 1 minute, so I don't think Navi want to stall out. But
it's really hard to push into all the mana burn is a problem. It's like they wear you down bit by bit, and that gives them a fight win condition. They are dewarding. Looks like they're just using this time to control the area around the Roche Pit such that when it does spawn, they will be ready. Magical TP's bottom, looking to farm, but they see him here. So maybe they can look to do something with that on Chicken Fighters? Probably not, though.
They don't have really a hard control on the bottom lane, does Navi, so maybe they don't feel as confident making an offensive move, only having one lane to really work with.
Yeah, PL does queue up the MKB,
DD.
and he's ready to be the primary source of damage against the Naga. Does take the bottle from 9 Pasha for this DD rune. This could be a game changer. PL, with that Phantom Rush included, has 262 base damage, almost effectively doubling his damage entirely, as double damage does only amp up the base damage. Both teams smoked up now.
Okay, who's going to get the better execution, the better jump in? So Nico Carapace, silence, misses the mark. Saberlight goes in, can't quite catch the duel, follows up with it, looking to go for the finish on Undying, and is successful
Dazzle's
there.
dead too.
No buyback there. Era does have one. Naga swinging it out with Crystallized Magical, dishing out good damage on the backlines though with that BKB.
No
he
buyback
can't be
on him.
stopped. And Naga's down and out. No buyback. That might be the final straw for Chicken Fighters, as the Death Prophet will also go down without buybacks on either. This could be the call.
I don't know if Navi would have been able to kill Charlie without that DD. That was pretty game-changing for Crystallized to be able to focus him down, and looked like an inevitable ending, but will they make one last grand hurrah stand here?
Without DP and without Naga, they could do it, but how successful could it actually be? I think so. Nico might be the first one caught. Jump in.
Oof.
Hail Mary, but that's free damage to take your Ancient that much faster. There's the call, and it's going to be Navi taking the series 2-1. But gotta give credit to Chicken Fighters, man. They put up a hell of a fight this series.